Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, first of all, to the Rebuild Ukraine Business Conference. My name is John Maskalik, and I have the privilege of being your Master of Ceremonies today. A few words about this conference. The Rebuild Ukraine Business Conference will showcase investment projects aimed at rebuilding and modernizing Ukraine. The conference is made special by the engaging presentations and important discussions about the rebuilding and modernization of Ukraine. It is put on by the Canada-Ukraine Chamber of Commerce. Already in its 30th year, it's a member-driven business association with a mandate to promote trade and investment opportunities among members in Canada and Ukraine, and foster cooperation between Canadian and Ukrainian public and private stakeholders. I have a few housekeeping items just at the very beginning. Your full conference program can be found by scanning the QR code on the back of your tags, your badges that you've received. You can also visit the website at www.cucc-rebuildukraine.com, and there you can find more details of the agenda and speaker biographies. Washrooms, the ladies' washrooms are located to the left and the men's washrooms are to the right, and break refreshments will be just outside the door at any time you wish to partake in them. Before we get going, I'd like to share one interesting tidbit of information. Was that the EU Parliament this morning adopted a resolution to designate Russia a state sponsor of terrorism, and I think this is excellent. Without further ado, I invite the President of the Canada-Ukraine Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Zenon Potichny, to the stage to provide opening remarks.
Johnny, thank you very much. Dear Prime Minister, dear Deputy Minister, respected ministers, elected officials, representatives of government, members of the diplomatic corps, esteemed members of the business community, ladies and gentlemen, friends and guests, Szanowni Druzi. My name is Zenon Potichny, President of Canada-Ukraine Chamber of Commerce, and it is my great pleasure to open the Rebuild Ukraine Business Conference today in Toronto. Now in its 30th year, Canada-Ukraine Chamber of Commerce has sought to promote trade and investment between Canada and Ukraine. The culmination of its hard work was solidified with the signing of the Free Trade Agreement in June of 2016. While the world has watched in horror all of the events that have transpired in Ukraine since February 24th, we must remember that after the storm will come the sun. The sheer perseverance of people of Ukraine in their quest for freedom has made them the heroes of the world. The same perseverance will ensure a successful rebuild of Ukraine at the end of the conflict, a stronger, brighter, reformed Ukraine with only one goal: trade with the Western world. Today we come together for a chance to examine opportunities and to capture a piece of the rebuild. With many Western governments already committing funds to the reconstruction of Ukraine, this rebuild will be nothing short of a 21st century Marshall Plan, we hope. And why is it important? Besides being Europe's largest country, Ukraine is also rich in minerals, agricultural wealth, energy reserves, both developed and untouched, an innovative IT sector being deemed the brain basket of the world, a workforce that is willing and able to perform, and country accessible to world markets by land, sea, and air. Ukraine will no longer be a wayward republic floating in the post-Soviet space, but vibrant, fully integrated member of Europe, taking its rightful place on the world stage. Ukraine will be a place where everyone will want to do business. Today we seek to present a multi-angled overview of the country's landscape, introduce key players with in-country experience, and explore opportunities for the future. Your presence today is sure sign that you also can see the opportunities that are on the horizon. We're grateful to our partners at the Business Council of Canada, among others, who have steadfastly worked with our team to ensure the excellent forum. I wish you an informative day ahead. Welcome to the conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Zenon. I now invite Goldie Hyder, President and CEO of the Business Council of Canada.
I want to be honest with you. I'm not happy to be here. I'm sure you're not happy to be here either. I think we all wish we didn't need to be here. I'm not happy with what took place in the last 24 hours. But if ever there's a reason for us to be here, that's a reminder. It's a reminder of why we're here. And I want to welcome you on what is a cool November day to Toronto, and particularly those of you who took the time to travel here from the Ukraine. I can only imagine how hard it is to leave your businesses and your families at what is a truly dangerous time. I want to tell you about my favorite Ukrainian not named Chrystia Freeland. And that's your ambassador. Your ambassador came and visited me just a short while after she was appointed here. It was about 8 weeks after Russia had invaded Ukraine. Now, I'll be honest with you, I was expecting to hear about the needs of Ukraine from a military perspective, from a financial perspective, the things that you would expect a country at war to come and meet with you and ask you about. Instead, what she has said to me then and has stuck with me since, and why we're so pleased to have the opportunity to show our support at the Business Council of Canada on behalf of our members for your battle. It's our battle. And she said to me that the Ukrainian economy is actually the third front. It had never been put that way. And she told me the story of her mom, who at that time was going to work every single day. And I remember it well because through that one story, I think I understand the people of Ukraine. Your resolve, your resilience, your dogged determination, and why you are going to win. She thanked me for the humanitarian assistance that the Canadian government and Canadian companies had been given at that time. But what she said to me is, Ukraine, you know what we really need, she said? We want to do business. We want to do business on commercial terms with you and anyone else who wants to help us rebuild a war-torn Ukraine. And on that April afternoon, she highlighted three things that I think play to Canadian strengths and Canadian capacities and Canadian capabilities, particularly in our pension funds. And those three things were infrastructure, energy, and agriculture. And so today, 7 months later, we've seen the remarkable resiliency of the Ukrainian economy. The fact is, despite what just took place in the last 24 hours or in the last 8 months, Russian attacks have not broken the spirit of the Ukrainian people, nor their entrepreneurial spirit. So when people ask, is it too soon to talk about rebuilding? And I know some people have asked that question. Is it appropriate that we're all here talking about how to rebuild Ukraine? I would say to you two things. One is, that started months ago. And two is, if we don't talk about it, the other guy wins. The other guy wins. And we can't let that happen. And you know what? We here in Canada, certainly in the Canadian business and the Canadian government, I can say, are not going to let that happen. We're just not going to let that happen. And so we are proud. We are extremely proud. We're not happy. We're not happy that we have to do this with you. But we are proud to stand with you and to stand with the people of Ukraine and to stand with Ukraine itself. And so we're very grateful for the opportunity to partner with Xenon and CUCC at this important conference. The standing room only crowd tells you there's a lot of interest in making sure that we rebuild Ukraine together to be even stronger than she was before. And so we hope that this is in fact the first of many opportunities for Canadian and Ukrainian businesses to work together in Ukraine and in other parts of the world. And it's my sincere hope that the next time I have an opportunity to speak with you, it's at a time when I'm speaking to you in Kiev, where I'll happy to be there. Slava Ukraini.